play Umamusume now. But what is Umamusume? So, Umamusume is a game, and it's also 3 seasons of anime, a movie, a short series, and a spin-off with 2 seasons. Yeah, there's a lot of content to consume, but let's start with what Umamusume is about. Umamusume takes place in a world unlike our own, where horse girls, known as Umamusume, exist and are given names from legendary racehorses originating from our world. Umas have a human appearance, but don't be fooled, because their physiology is closer to that of a horse, with Umas being much stronger, faster, and tougher than your average human. They also have really cute ears and tails. Because of their physical abilities, many Umas are trained to be racing athletes that compete in regional, national, and global races. Some Umas pursue other careers and avenues, but for the most part they simply run fast. So let's start with the game. Umamusume Pretty Derby is a mobile and PC game released in 2021 in Japan and 2025 globally. The game was originally intended to release in 2016 alongside the Umamusume Pretty Derby anime, but because of conflicts of vision within the creative team, the game took much longer to develop and was released at a later date. In Umamusume Pretty Derby, you train your Umas to become formidable racers by gambling. In the current training scenario, you are a training arc. You guide a horse girl of your choice through training and races so that she gets stronger and eventually finishes her racing career by competing in the prestigious URA finale. But let's circle back to the gambling bit, shall we? In order to train your Uma, you have to train 6 key stats in order to make her a formidable and fast runner. Those 6 stats include speed, to make your Uma run faster, stamina for your Uma to maintain top speed on longer tracks, power for your Uma to fight her way from the back of the pack to the very front, guts too. Guts is supposed to have your Uma use less stamina when performing a final spurt, but it's not too important right now in global servers. And finally, wit, for your Uma to activate skills and perform recovery bonuses. Depending on your Uma's starting statistics and the types of races they run, you'll want to prioritize different stats and have her train in a specific way to ensure that she dominates over her opponents and makes it through to the end of her career. The catch to training is that your Uma has limited energy, and training your Uma depletes her energy over time. As your Uma's energy decreases, the probability that she'll fail a training session increases. This is where gamblers can take a fun chance and decide if an additional 70 speed training session is worth the 52% chance of failure over letting their Uma rest like a proper athlete. Training takes a mix of resource management and also deck building to ensure that you can train your horse girl efficiently enough in order to have her win her races and make it to the end of her career. Oh yeah, let's get into that deck building and support cards. In addition to different Umas, there are also different support cards that can make you training your Uma much easier. Support cards have different grades to them, ranging from R, SR, and SSR, with SSR being the best card grade to obtain. Each support card represents one of the 6 statistics and comes with training bonuses that make training that statistic much more efficient. One example is the Specialty Priority bonus that allows a support card to appear more in training of their specified stat. This allows for friendship training to happen more often, which offers double the rewards of normal training if done successfully. In addition to training bonuses, support cards can also grant skills and recovery bonuses when you train with them, giving your trainee an extra trick up their sleeve to use when racing. You'll want to arrange your deck in ways that you cover the core stats that your Uma will need and also obtain the right skills so that she can sweep the competition from under the rug and cinch victory at the last minute. But how does one obtain these support cards? Well, there's a gotcha. Wait, hear me out. There are 2 main gotchas that Umamusume has, Trainee Scout gotchas and Support Card Scout gotchas. Support card gotchas are exactly what they sound like. Every few weeks, a new set of support cards will be featured, and you can either grind the game and get enough free carrots to do a few pulls, or you can spend some money. Trainee Scout gotchas are very similar to support card gotchas, except instead of rolling for support cards, you're rolling for new trainee Umas. You really only want to roll on these banners if there's a specific Uma you really want. For example, I'll be patiently waiting to spend my carrots on Agnes Digital, my Himajoshi Queen, and Simbali Rudolph in her kimono outfit. Until then, I'm mainly going to be on the lookout for future support card banners to upgrade my Kitasan Black and Super Creek cards. One day you'll become 5-star. One day. That's a pretty rough overview of how the game works. It's not necessarily a skill-based game and much more of a strategist game, which I appreciate, because I don't always have the time to grind games and learn what the right movements or techniques are. But now let's pivot to talking about the anime. Umamusume is a multimedia franchise, and so Cygames has various studios alongside their in-house team at Cygames Pictures produce several animated projects. First up, there's the main series, Umamusume Pretty Derby, that takes place at the prestigious Trasen Academy, where the most powerful Umas go to train, study, and compete in nationally recognized races. Each season of Pretty Derby follows a new main character. Season 1 focuses on Silent Suzuka, a reserved girl who demonstrates exceptional power and special week, a transfer student from Hokkaido who aims to be the best Umamusume in all of Japan. Season 2 focuses on Mejiro McQueen, a prestigious girl from a legacy Umamusume family, and Tokai Teo, an enthusiastic girl who looks up to racing legend Simbali Rudolph. Season 3 focuses on Kitasan Black, a kind girl with a passion for racing, and Satono Diamond, a soft-spoken girl filled with determination. Pretty Derby helps fill in a lot of the backstory and motivations behind each of Trasen's top racers, and really helps bring the world to life. You learn a little bit more about how students at Trasen interact with each other, how Umas get scouted by trainers, and you also get to see them perform fun idol dances when they win. Outside of the main Pretty Derby series, there's also the short series Road to the Top and the movie Beginning of a New Era, that featured TM Opera O, Narita Top Road, and Admire Vega in the series, alongside Agnes Tachyon, Jungle Pocket, and Manhattan Cafe in the movie. Beginning of a New Era has some phenomenal animation and a beautiful story, so if getting into the Pretty Derby anime is too daunting with too many characters or episodes, I recommend starting slow with Road to the Top and then Beginning of a New Era. Finally, there's the spin-off series Cinderella Grey. Cinderella Grey follows Oguri Cap, a beast of an Uma who was once told she would never be able to run, as she fights her way from rural Kasamatsu to the national racing scene at Trasen Academy. I personally started with Cinderella Grey and loved every single minute of it. Oguri Cap is oblivious, a known consumer of food, and doesn't know when to quit, making her a fun and inspiring main character to follow. Currently, Cinderella Grey is airing its second season, and the full first season is available on YouTube from It's Anime powered by Remao, if you're interested. There's also a manga for Cinderella Grey, so if you want to stay up to date, I definitely recommend reading that. All in all, that's an overview of Umamusume as a franchise and what newcomers can expect from the series. I thought that the concept of girls that are horses who race and also perform idol concerts was a bit out there, but after seeing what Umamusume is like, I definitely say it's worth it to give it a try. This is an extremely brief overview, so if anything that I mentioned piqued your interest, I highly encourage you to try it for yourself, whether you watch the anime or play the game. There's a lot of minute details that I missed, and it's honestly much more fun if you try it out for yourself. If this video was even remotely entertaining, let me know and tell me what you're most excited to see in the series or who your favorite Uma is. As always, you can catch me on Twitch, where I stream my reaction to Nintendo Directs and hopefully will showcase some of my Umamusume playthroughs. Until then, I will see you all in the next one.